Christian Family Radio. We are Derek and Bridget. Good morning. This is Money Mindset, where we have an opportunity with our friends, Lock Shield Partners, to help you see money not as necessarily that goal that you try to get to, but that you actually use money as a tool. So, Clark, we're so thankful you're here this morning.
Well, thank you for having us.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about, that struggling phase of feeling like we're living paycheck to paycheck, how we get out of that cycle. So now if we're in this kind of surviving stage of we've got a plan, we're kind of working the plan. What's that next phase look like?
Yeah, so we like to call that next phase stability, which is we've knocked out some debt, maybe we've created some efficiencies in our spending plan, and now we feel like we have a little bit of surplus every month that we can do something with. And so the first step from a practical implementation perspective is to start setting money aside every month for a major purchase. So let's use a car, for example. If we know that we're going to buy a car 5 years from now, we can back that down into a monthly cost that we can pay ourselves instead of paying the lender or instead of paying the bank. Or even a more short-term goal. We know Christmas comes around every year. Somehow we tend to forget that happens. But we can pay ourselves $100 a month or $200 a month or whatever the cost is that you like to spend on Christmas with your family. And by the end of the year, it's sitting there. So I think that's the next key. And when it comes to this principle, we love Proverbs. We like to dip back to another proverb. Chapter 13 tells us, wealth won quickly dwindles away, but gathered little by little, it grows. And this is the first step, is just to start slowly but surely. We're big fans of not crazy drastic change, but slow incremental change over time. And if we can put that in place early on, that makes a really, really big difference long term. And
those slower, small changes along the way are easier to implement and stick with than drastic change overnight.
That's exactly right, Derek. It's easy to think of finances strictly what the textbook tells you, but we have to consider that behavioral piece as well. And so, yes, while we want to follow the guidelines that have been laid out, we also have to practically implement what works. And so we can't just shock ourselves with a drastic change.